Okay, time check. It's 11:56 a.m. and I'm sitting here in Lloyd Street in Southport, and I'm about to embark on a crazy journey. It's October the 31st of, wait a minute, 31st. Back to the Future Day is the 21st. 21st of October was the day that Doc was hanging the clock and he slipped his bang in his head, and that's when he had the vision for the flux capacitor, which is what makes time travel possible.
Flux capacitor.
Now, oh my God, am I really 10 days late? If only I had more time. Well, I do have more time because I'm wearing the limited edition Back to the Future sweatshirt from H&M. You can't get these anymore. You should have to wait till you see the back of this. The back is Back to the Future ready. Now, the reason we're doing this today is because we want to go back to the 21st and we want to experience the fantastic 40th anniversary. Yes, 40 years ago today.
My God, has it been that long?
I first went to the cinema to watch Back to the Future for the first time in all its glory. So we just need to get 10 more days. If only we could get 10 more days, right? Just turn this dial and that 10 days ought to do it. Right, there we go. Right, we're back at the 21st of October, Back to the Future Day. I'm wearing my brand new limited edition hoodie from H&M, not sponsored, although H&M, if you're listening, I am available. Right, what I'm going to do first today is I'm going to head down Lloyd Street and I'm going to meet a very old friend of mine for a quick catch up and a Americano. Right, let's get going. You might be there already.
Right, give me a Pepsi free.
You want a Pepsi, pal? You're gonna pay for it.
Now, we can see now the rain has started to come down, and it looks like there could be a big thunderstorm tonight, the night of the big thunderstorm. I hope there's no lightning, nothing gets struck by lightning, and no one is sent any further back than the 10 days we already are. Don't want to be sent back to 1955. Right, let's get the show on the road. Places to be, people to see. Okay, we're filming and we have sound. Right, gonna do a time check. It's currently 8:32 and we're standing here on a parking lot of Twin Pines Mall. No, it's not. Scratch that.
Einstein's clock is in precise synchronization with my control watch. Got it?
Right, check done.
Good.
It's on the parking lot of Ocean Plaza in Southport, and we're going to see the legendary film of Back to the Future 40th Anniversary Edition. And you've never seen this film before, is this correct?
No.
Not from start to finish anyway, right?
I've seen bits.
How are your expectations? Are
Quite
they high?
Because if it's still showing 40 years later,
It's got to have done something right? Okay. So this movie that I watched for the first time in 1985 is now showing again in 2025. How do you think what year it was then? It's been so long. Oh my God, has it been that long? Right, so as we know, or may not know, Back to the Future is actually a parody of another great film. And that other great film was Rebel Without a Cause.
You better give me something. You better give me something fast.
Now, Rebel Without a Cause was made in what year, you ask? Of course, 1955, which is where Marty goes back to 1955, to the iconic era of rock and roll and crazy, amazing American cars, and where James Dean was, and where James Dean made that incredible movie, Rebel Without a Cause. And it's a bit of a parody, and if you think about it, there are a few threads or similarities that run throughout both films. Now in Rebel, James Dean has his iconic red jacket, a bit like this one, but you know, cooler.
In 10 years, you'll never know this even happened.
Dad, answer her.
He has that iconic red jacket which becomes famous and, you know, becomes like the poster of the film and the movie of the time. And in Back to the Future, Marty wears what? He wears that red life preserver. Now I might be reaching, but I think there's similarities running through both films. Now also, what gets James Dean into trouble in the movie? He doesn't like to be called chicken, does he? And he gets into trouble. And also in Back to the Future, if you remember, in that road rage of, was it number 2, Back to the Future 2, Marty doesn't like to be called chicken. He gets into that road rage, doesn't he, with needles, which causes him to crash.
What's the matter? Chicken?
Right, no more spoilers. What we need to do now, I think, we've had a few minutes to soak up the atmosphere, and we're going to get inside this amazing cinema in Southport, and we're going to see if we can get some popcorn or some snacks or goodies, aren't we, for the movie? Popcorn. And then we'll get inside and we'll check out the film. Right, here we go. A few people rocking up now. How's your popcorn? Give it a try. How was it? Are you happy with your choice? She's happy with her choice of popcorn. I'm going to see if there's anything for me. So I might need a snackaroo in the cinema. We've got a few ice creams in here. Ooh. Magnums, Ben & Jerry's, Calippo. What do I fancy? Ooh. Maybe a Turbos traditional, right?
Yeah.
So
What are you getting?
I'm going to get some pick and mix because I'm a huge, I was going to say I'm a huge fudge fan, but I need a small junior. Is that the junior? I don't know how it works. Is that a junior?
That looks used.
These
It says
all,
large.
these all look used.
It says large on it.
All right. Oh, fantastic! Thank you. Brilliant. Thanks. Perfect. That's the junior. So you can fill that, I guess, right? All right. Let's go for it. Fudge. Look at it. They don't make it easy, do they? Right, I need loads of that because that's literally what I want. Right. Okay. That's enough of that. I like licorice.
Oh no.
A few licorices in there. I love those. You won't want to eat it now, will you?
No.
There. They're all kind of stuck together. I reckon I can get more in there, yeah, do you?
I think you can.
That's quite a lot I've got though.
I think I need to be able to close it.
Do you? Those are all going in. Certain. There, I reckon. I can close that, right? Just shove it down. Yes! They all cry. Right, okay. Keep rolling, keep rolling. Keep using that portable television studio. What we need is a Pepsi Free. We got a Pepsi Free. They don't have Pepsi Free in 2025. Oh my God, they only have Pepsi Max. I can't believe it. I need to get back to 1985 to get myself a Pepsi Free. It's heavy because I crammed a lot in there. Gotta get those sweeties. Right. Let's check the e-ticket. Right. There we are. Two, yeah? It's for two.
Yeah, it's got two on it.
Okay, cool.
375 and 6.
Okay, thank you. You thought we were trying to sneak in there, just let you in for one, but got 2 tickets. We pay our way in 2025. Right. We got to get ourselves in there and get ourselves Back to the Future. Screen 7 and 8. Which one are we in? Do we know? 7. Okay. Ooh, I'm excited. You excited?
I am okay.
Where is it? 7. It's dark.
You mean to tell me that?
So that was the incredible Back to the Future movie, the original, the only one. Forget 2 and 3, they're just, you know, sequels.
Are there 3?
There are 3 in total, yeah. Back to the Future 2, where they go to the future, 2015.
Hey, stop!
Okay.
And then Back to the Future 3 is where they go to the Old West, to 1885, where old Hill Valley was constructed and where it all began.
Yeah.
And there was old Mad Dog Tannen, the ancestor of Biff. Did you spot anything interesting in the movie?
What do you mean?
I think there's like so much detail. I always see something different every time I watch it.
There are a few things.
Yeah, such as.
No, I don't want to show you.
Oh, come on,
No,
I'll show. I spotted something when he went. When he was in 1955 and he was driving towards the cinema, and when he struck the lightning. I looked who was on at the cinema in 1955. What film was on? And do you know what was on?
No.
It was the Atomic Kid.
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit of plutonium, and the Atomic Kid was showing, and he went straight into the cinema. So that was like it's a nice little Easter egg, that one. There's loads of little details in it. Oh, I noticed something else. I've probably seen this before, but I remembered on all the right at the beginning where he goes into Doc's house and they've got all the clocks on the wall. And they're panning across all the clocks. There was one clock, and there was a man hanging off the clock. It was Harold Lloyd from the old Harold Lloyd pictures of the 1930s. But it was hanging off the clock like this, and that's exactly what Doc was doing when he was trying to connect the thing. And it was like almost like a prediction of what was going to happen to Doc in the future. So another little tiny Easter egg there. Full of Easter eggs, and it's not even Easter, it's near Christmas, isn't it? Right, let's get on our way. Stop talking about this movie.
Yeah.
Let's get out of this parking lot of Lone Pines Mall. I'll drive. It's interesting to see that film again after so long, because when you watch a movie, there's like highs and lows in the movie. You know, there are bits like usually in the middle of a movie where you think, oh, it's quite boring now, like a bit of a break. But in that movie, it just keeps the pace, keeps going. It goes from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. It's all those segments are all as fast as each other, so there's no lull at all in the film. So that's quite unique. But also within that, I would say there's still space within the film. Like there's a lot of moments where like someone's just like making a gesture, or you know when Lorraine came to when she tracked Marty down and she turned up at Doc's garage, and she was saying, oh, I think like a man should be strong and stick up for himself, and they were both like this, and even Doc was like leaning on the car, he was just going like this.
And protect the woman he loves. Don't you?
Yeah.
And it was like, I think in a modern film that would just be cut to like dialogue, but in that film they gave like a little bit of space for gestures, and which I think was quite a nice pace to the whole thing. So yeah, a good film all in all. I'd rate it 10 out of 10 yet again after all these years and all these tears.
I thought you would.
What would you rate it out of 10 in the end?
8.
8?
You last.
Don't Can't believe it. Unbelievable, that. No, you have to leave the door open or the lights will go off.
Change it.
Can we change the setting on it? Ah, right, okay, final thoughts. Final conclusion to the movie. I watched it on TV, like, when was it? A couple of years ago. And I noticed something that I thought I'd check tonight and see if I was right. And one thing that I'd noticed, and I'm still not sure if this is right because I've never heard anyone else talk about it, but when he goes back to 1955, you know, when he goes into that cafe and he's talking to George, and then the cleaner comes up and he said, "You're going to be mayor," and he was like, "That's right, I'm going to be mayor." Well, outside, when he was talking about that, outside, they had a van going around and it's saying, "Re-elect me," and they wanted to re-elect the current mayor in 1955.
Red Thomas. Progress is his middle name. Mayor Red Thomas's progress platform.
And on the van it said, "Re-elect me, Red Thomas." Re-elect me, Red Thomas. Progress is his middle name. And then, almost right at the end of the movie, when he crashes back into 1985, Marty says, "Oh, everything looks great." And he says, "Red, you look great." And he's talking to the drunk guy that's like sleeping on that park bench. It's called Red. Which is an odd name. And I think that he is the old mayor from 55, but he's become an alcoholic and dropped out, which shows like how the town has progressed and like gone into like more of a downfall. I'm pretty sure that he's like the mayor because there's lots of little things like that. I could be wrong. If you know anything about that, let me know in the comments, because that's my final thought. I don't know if that's right, but to me, it makes sense that they would do that. What do you think? Not sure about that one. Right, anyway, yeah, let me know. And if you've seen any other Easter eggs outside of Easter, let me know in the comments, because yeah, I love Back to the Future Easter eggs. All right, signing off. Never works out, does it?
We're sending you back to the future.